I mean, he's bouncing around. He's what? We got all kinds. We got weather. We got traffic.
Andy, security.
The chance of a raindrop.
Randy Miller and Michael Seward on RandyMillerRadio.com.
People say the blues is just a good man feeling bad. I don't know about you, that's not the kind of blues I have. I'm a bad man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good.
What's Michael doing here?
Yes, I'm a bad man. Let's get that understood.
We get a lot of things to get understood. First of all, Michael Seward is joining the broadcast. Hi, Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
help me understand, Randy.
What just happened to be in town?
It's coming through.
Poking around? What's going on?
Exactly.
You know, the last podcast that I did by myself, I interviewed golf pro Jeff Bury.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Very good show. We missed you because
thank you.
Because your input on golf is so tremendous.
Yeah, well, you see me at Cool Crest, not bad.
That's right.
Not bad.
Cool Crest. I got such a great. I don't know what to call it. It was just a very helpful thing from Michael yesterday. And it was so good. So Michael sent me a message and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but on your Facebook page, there's a link to a website that doesn't go anywhere."
A little public service.
Yes,
assistance.
and
that's what I do.
I mean,
Randy.
and that's what it saved my life because this link, we had I don't know $700,000 worth of merchandise on there, and I'm thinking,
where'd it go?
Why don't we sell any of it?
Yeah.
And it was a broken link. And so thank you. Thank you, Michael.
And I am available, Michael at RandyMillerRadio.com, if you want me to just to kind of
monitor the situation of things that people maybe didn't know.
Like, your own about page on your Facebook, about three layers deep.
Sure.
That's where you'll find me.
Would you take just a peek at my LinkedIn page just to kind of see where we are there?
Well,
do you get weird LinkedIn requests or like friend stuff on LinkedIn? I do.
I got to tell you, any of those weird things that didn't feel right, seriously,
right.
It's a report, hide comment, block comment. Seriously, I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mess around.
Me neither. And I used to do that. I'd be like, well, maybe I want to befriend Abjar Defendants in India.
Ginger Kuma Patel.
Yes, I would love to talk to Shtabada Barada. And so
Buck Westwood down at my phone at work is ringing all the time. I think I told you I did one weekend with a little band in El Dorado Maximum Security Prison.
Bragger.
So when however you can get a gig, Randy.
True. That's a good point.
But my phone still rings from time to time.
Is that right?
El Dorado. Yeah.
Here's what I'm guilty of. I really do. I always try to be a nice guy. And so I was interviewing.
You were trying to give her purse back.
Yeah. Well, no, not that.
Oh.
That was something else. And this was after I spoke to the Greg Crowley Rotary Club. But I was interviewing a woman
Bragger
who's in charge of the Missouri Veterans Hall of Fame. I didn't even know there was a Veterans Hall of Fame.
Never heard of that.
There's a Veterans Hall of Fame in just about every state. Did not know that. And so I'm talking to her about that.
I like the idea. It's great.
It's in St. Louis. Okay. It's just outside St. Louis, bad location. Mm-hmm. But then she goes, so we have our induction ceremony coming up in October. And I just say to her, well, if you need somebody to MC that, be happy to do it. Thinking they've already got somebody to MC it.
Yeah, and thank you for that, because you've always been that. You didn't serve in the military, but you've always served those that have served. So you throw that out there.
Throw it out there. And so wouldn't you know it, coincidentally, they do need someone on October 27th. And I'm in. But here's my problem. Every time I agree to something like that, then I try to just get out of it as many ways as I can. And my wife always says, why did you agree to that? And I go, I don't know. And so now but now I'm fired up about it. Now I'm going to go.
That's good.
I'm going to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's October 27th, and I'll drive to St. Louis, and I'll go do that. And I'll be happy about it. I'll be very happy about it. But do you get yourself in those situations?
Everything you just said, if you called my wife Kelly up, she would tell you the same thing because there's certain things that I get roped into.
Yeah.
And I'm dragging my feet. Right. She's like, why are you, just say no.
Right. I cannot do that.
Okay, so this is for us and the listeners, and I've been trying real hard, and it is hard to say it.
Yeah.
But I stole this from my sister-in-law, who's so good at it. And as you know in radio, 80% is tone, 20% doesn't matter what you say.
Right. Right.
But she is so good.
Even tougher with text.
Yeah.
Even tougher with text.
All right, so give me an invitation to something, Randy, right now.
Okay, I got my birthday's next week. You wanna come and maybe MC the ceremonies?
I would, Randy, but I just really don't want to. And the thing is, my sister-in-law's walking off, you're walking off, and you just think she agreed to it.
Right.
Because she was so positive and upbeat, and then it sinks in.
That does sound good. It does sound good.
I mean, how can you fight that? I just said I don't want to.
Right.
There's nothing beyond that. So happy birthday early, Randy.
Thank you. But then
I don't want to.
But then you're free.
I would. I just don't want to. Can you repeat that, Randy?
I'll try.
The lesson.
Ask me to do something.
Hey, Randy, would you get that bottle of wine in the other room for my glass?
I will. See, I can't do it. Oh my gosh. We just got back from a little trip. I know you've been traveling all over the world, and we just got back from a place that we'd never been before, Estes Park, Colorado.
Love Estes Park. The
YMCA
really? Camp there?
Well, listen, that's your
there I go again.
That's your own deal.
5 stars.
Seriously. The youth hostel that they have. I loved it. We just wrestled in the mud.
Park.
No, it is a beautiful place in the country. I mean, it really is. And we've been to a lot of places in Colorado. That was our honeymoon spot, was Winter Park, Colorado.
Okay.
At a dude ranch. And, of course, Renee's always ridden horses. And I just, got into it at that point. And that was quite the learning experience for me.
Well, I can imagine you're on your honeymoon with this beautiful bride of yours, and she's galloping on this horse. I'm thinking Randy's like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I love horses.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
Dude Ranch sounds great. Sounds great. I'm on Broken Thunder. All right, that's good.
You're on glue stick. I'm in.
That's right. I'm on Hobble Horse. That's all right. That's good. I'll be back here in the back. But Estes Park is fantastic, and it was the perfect time to go. We took our camper and stayed there for 7-8 days, and it was the time of the season where these elk are rutting. They're calving. They're, what they're doing their thing. They're little Sinatra music, and you got a little vino. And
a little Barry White.
That's right.
Where's your Barry White?
Yeah, baby. And you got a bull elk. And these guys are serious. I mean, these are giant creatures, and they're everywhere. We saw, and they must be Lutheran, because the reason I say we drove by a Lutheran church in downtown Estes Park. There were 24 elk, and we can throw some. I got pictures. We can throw some pictures about this. 24, one bull elk, and 23 of his brood.
Oh,
and man, I'll tell you what, you don't want to mess with them. We played golf one day there, and they're on the golf course. They were everywhere. Now, you don't go and get your ball if you hit it near a bull elk. You just kind of
bad idea.
Yeah, you kind of leave it there. And there were a lot of them left there, but I got to tell you,
because I'm guessing that the elk were they right there next to the pen, and you just had to leave it.
That's it. Yes, right? You guessed it. Right there.
Just leave it, Randy.
I don't need.
That was going to be an eagle.
It was a 1 foot putt, but that's all right. We'll call it good. I can tell you a great story. So, we got our Chiefs gear on, of course, representing.
Out of town in somebody else's territory
in
now.
Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at this Elks Festival. They have a big festival every year, and it's kind of like the Plaza Arts Fair because they got the arts and they got the food and they got the and it's huge and it's everybody's there. So we got our Chiefs gear, and this is the day that the Chiefs played, and who played? Chicago, and so we're walking through there and we see another couple and they've got all their Chiefs stuff on. They go, "Hey, go Chiefs!" Yeah, and I said, "Are you guys from Kansas City?" No, we live here. And we've been here for 6 years and used to live in Kansas City, and now we host parties, Chiefs parties. And matter of fact, we got to go. We got to get ready for the Chiefs party. It's great. So,
and don't tell me you volunteered to MC it.
I emceed the party.
Good.
Nope. But then we had another guy that comes up right beside me. And he goes, and he's got no Chiefs stuff on. He goes, "I love the Chiefs, but I can't wear the gear around here." I go, "Gotcha."
How many of those are out there?
Yeah.
I mean, and how many of us? Randy, I don't know about you. I love Taylor Swift, but I'm laying low.
Right. Right. Exactly.
There's some of that.
There's a lot of that.
Okay, so there you are. You're in.
All right. So we're in Broncos country. We're in our stuff. We go to the golf course, and there's a. We like to play because Renee's just kind of learning golf, so we like to have her play. Our time.
Yeah, it's leisurely. It's fun.
Yeah, we don't want to rush around, and so there's a group behind us of 2 women and a guy that are playing very fast, and so we'll just let them play through. No big deal. So they come up to the next tee box, and we've got our Chief stuff on, and the girl jumps out of the cart. One of the girls, and she goes, "Oh man, love the Chiefs. God, I love the Chiefs." And I said, "Oh, that's great." I said, "We live in Kansas City." And she said, "Where do you live?" And I started to tell her, I'm thinking, you're not going to know. And she goes, "We live in Lee Summit." And it's her and her sister, and they're vacationing there. And we're talking about the Chiefs and all this kind of stuff. And I said, born and raised in Kansas City? She said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I was on the radio there for about 13 years, did a morning show at Q104. And she goes, You're not Randy Miller." And I said, "Yes, I am." And she went, I love this.
God.
She went berserk, and it was so funny. And she's telling the guy who they just paired up with this guy from Colorado. She goes, "He is so famous. He is so famous." And so she
hit a hole in one as far as she was concerned.
Let me tell you something. She then gets up on the tee box.
Oh.
She hit the ball further than I've seen anyone ever hit the ball. She was incredible. And I hope she's listening to this. They play at Fred Urbanus, which used to be Longview. But she was fantastic. But
you gave her a little energy on that
I think
backswing.
I think so. So many Chiefs fans out there, though.
Man, that's amazing.
Well, so many Chiefs fans everywhere. Come on.
Because I'm just trying to picture if you had somebody in a Denver Broncos shirt out here in one of our golf courses.
Right.
Hey!
Yeah.
Probably not.
No, it'd be
wearing your Russell Wilson
How
shirt.
did you get on the course?
Yeah.
Is one of those.
Hee-haw!
Yeah. Mr. Elway.
Easy. That's incredible.
How many times have you been recognized as John Elway?
Man, that's the thing.
I'm serious.
Randy.
Yeah.
Doggone it. You know, when you live in Kansas City, if there's any doppelganger that you don't want to be associated with, it'd be
John Elway. Yeah.
So, yeah, as I think you know, there's been a few occasions, and I feel bad about it, where I've embraced it.
You have embraced it. Yeah.
You know, there's one time in Union Station, the lights are down low. I'm wearing kind of a loud jacket, and I happen to have a Chiefs Super Bowl ring replica on my finger.
Yeah.
And people had just started going around at this big thing. They're like, "I think that's John Elway over there." And I'm like, first off, would John Elway be wearing a Chiefs ring?
Right.
Da-da-da. People start coming up, and I'm like,
people just kind of lose their minds.
They lose their mind. I'm thinking, I'm signing autographs, I'm taking pictures, I'm saying the dumbest thing to these people, by the way.
Right.
It's like I'm touching your shirt over there, and I'm telling people that think I'm John Elway. I'm like, "Oh, is that felt?" And they're like, "No, it is now." I mean, just the dumbest things I could say, but they're laughing.
Oh.
They're laughing because they think John Elway is engaging in that way.
So speaking of that,
John No Way.
The greatest thing about teaching your wife golf is that she's never heard any of the old golf jokes or golf terms. She's never heard any of them. And so I've been playing all my life. So now when I tell her something, I get fresh meat that I can tell these stupid golf things to. And she hit the ball the other day, and she hit it kind of low. And I said, oh, yeah, the problem with that was loft. And she goes, oh, really? I said, L-O-F-T, lack of freaking talent. And she just thinks it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And so I got all these,
That you guys have been married how long?
40 years.
And you still got new material.
I got brand new I got brand new golf material now.
How to make love last a lifetime. Have new material. Because I got to tell you, Randy, I got nothing. I think she's heard everything I've got 50 times. The 5 jokes I got, she's heard them all.
Right. Yeah. Well,
good for you.
Just get her involved in a thing that she's never done before. That Oh my gosh.
Goodness sakes.
Well, so we went to Colorado and came back, and we got this camper that we're pulling. The travel trailer, because we've had the motorhome before, and the motorhome's fine unless there's wind, and then there's a problem. Mm-hmm. The travel trailer. Can get it going. And the thing, Renee is just so reactive, and she drives it too. Because she used to pull a horse trailer, and she would never let me pull a horse trailer and drive the truck because there are horses in the trailer, and she doesn't trust me to. Yeah. So now she still really doesn't trust me, but I drive it anyway. And
without the horse trailer,
it's the travel trailer,
just without anything.
There's nothing in there. There's
no hitches.
There's no. Yeah. There's one hitch, but like pulling into a gas station. I mean, she just about draws me a diagram of where to. If you go over there and start and you go around and you loop and you can come out that way and you don't hit the thing, and I'm.
So she makes up for the Facebook page detail I have. She compliments.
Yes.
While you're on the road.
Well, okay, and I played golf today with a group of guys, and I got to tell you what, we all agree we're at that age where we all need a handler. We really do. We everybody needs because
whether you want it or not, you need it.
Well,
is that what that means or not?
I mean, you need it. I need a handler, and you don't realize that till you get to a certain age, and you're like, okay, well, maybe she's right. There are things that I just can't do or think of on my own. I mean, Kelly's kind of your handler.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, you got to have that.
She saved me a few times.
Yeah, you got to. I interviewed Roma Downey today. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, the sports guy, Jim. No, I don't. No. Help me out.
Roma Downey, Touched by an Angel. Remember that show? Do you remember that show?
Is it the red hair?
Yes.
Wow.
She was the angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she from Australia somewhere?
Ireland.
Ireland.
She's from Ireland. Yeah. She's written a new book. And so I interviewed her, and
wow, that's cool.
I thought it was going to be cool. I said, so what else have you been touched by? And it went downhill from there. But no, she was very good. We've had there's a guy that I'm interviewing tomorrow by the name of Craig Morgan. Do you know that name? He's a country singer. He's got a ton of hits.
Sounds familiar.
Hits.
Yeah.
Veteran. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Not the Hall of Fame. Grand Ole Opry. He was inducted in the Grand Ole Opry. On the night that he was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry, he re-upped for the reserves that night.
Wow.
On stage. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty strong. Yeah. No, he's a good guy. But he's got some great music. But he's coming on as a part of this tribute deal that he's planning. But it's been kind of, to be honest with you, it's been kind of weird with this actors strike, because I interview a lot of actors for the National Defense.
Yeah.
And they still will come on, but you can't ask them anything about the shows or movies they've been in.
So it's a whatever. It's a,
Yeah. And they'll come on to maybe promote a book or promote an event, but you can't, it's weird because you can't be like we had William Shatner. Have you recovered from your real life voyage into space?
Well, what happened to me on the voyage up there was more emotional than anything else. There were certain physical things that scared the hell out of you. Hydrogen being one of them.
Yeah.
The Hindenburg burned because of hydrogen. So that's unrecoverable from the emotional aspect. And the emotional aspect was I saw more clearly than ever, and I had seen this 60 years ago when I read Rachel Carson's The Silent Spring, of the condition of the earth. And I saw with great clarity and with great sadness the disintegration of our incredibly beautiful planet because of mankind. I came down with that great grief, and no, I have not overcome that. I'm more frightened about what's happening in the next 50 years than ever before.
Mm-hmm. So William Shatner comes on, and he even kind of made fun of it himself. He's like, Randy, I can't speak to any of my films. The Wrath of Khan. But they can't talk about it. It's so weird because they're
like current things.
No,
because you were just alluding to stuff.
Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
I mean,
that doesn't make sense to me.
I can say, here's Roma Downey. She was in Touched by an Angel, but she can't talk about it.
Huh.
It's bizarre because they're in unison with the fellow actors.
Okay.
I would like to go on strike. I mean, honestly, I would. I don't belong to anything. That's my problem. I'd like to go on strike, but I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean?
And what the sign would say, who are you striking against?
Right. It'd just be me. But you got the UAW, which is big. You got the actors. The writers' strike has been settled. You got you got health professionals at
Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah, right.
When I was coming back from Seattle to my connecting flight in Denver, pilots, I forget the airline, they were striking.
They were striking?
One of the airlines were all there, all the pilots with their signs.
Can I talk to you about flying? Mm-hmm. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. I used to love to fly. Mm-hmm. I used to get on Southwest.
Or Midwest.
Oh, Midwest Express. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. Greatest airline ever in history. Midwest Express.
Each seat was about this wide.
Here's your newspaper
leather,
and your freshly baked cookies, your freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. So you knew that was never going to last.
So I got a little story about that.
Yeah.
Real quick. So I'm with the president of a medical school, flying back from Washington, D.C. My mom is sitting to the left of me. Anyway, so this president of the medical school is sitting in the seat next to the aisle across from me.
Right.
The person next to her is out of sleep. So when the cookies come by,
right,
she's got her cookies, and then they just kind of slide his right over there by him.
Right.
Well, he's asleep.
He's not going to be eating a cookie when he's asleep. Right?
So I don't know what Randy would do, but I can tell you what this person did. So after she's done with her cookies, she ate. I mean, it's kind of gutsy.
Oh, this is your mom?
No.
Oh.
The president of the medical school is right here. Mom's next to me. We watch her after she eats her cookies boldly eat his cookies. Ooh. Okay, so here's where it gets good.
Right.
So she gets up to use the restroom. She goes to the back of the restroom.
Right.
As she's doing that, I write a little note with an arrow put it on the tray by his tray that says, "She ate your cookies."
Oh, come on!
I promise you.
Did you
with
really?
An arrow to the president of the medical school that hired me to her. And the best thing about it was, so as she's making her way back to her seat, there was a cart cleaning up with pop, whatever. She couldn't get to her seat, but she is close enough to see the note I put on her tray.
And is he still asleep?
He's still asleep.
Oh.
She finally did take it out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I think my mom did this. She's like, she made up something like she's with the
Son.
orphanage or something. And so they ended up folding all this foil of cookies they gave to her at the end to go for that. Horrible.
We had the great. I got one Midwest Express story. Jimmy Strickland on my 40th birthday.
Krispy Kreme.
Jimmy Strickland owned all the Krispy Kremes in Kansas City. On my 40th birthday, he surprised me and said, "I'm taking you to play Pinehurst number 2 in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Legendary course."
On your birthday.
On my birthday.
And your birthday's coming up, so who knows what's... Okay.
Anyway, so we were flying Midwest Express. They flew right into Pinehurst. And so we get there, and Jimmy, as he is known to do, would carry along 4 or 5 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, okay? And it's like his business card.
Yeah.
So
That's a great business card.
Oh, so we get to the counter, and Jimmy's got this Southern accent, and he plops the Krispy Kreme donuts. He goes, "I just want to make sure you ladies just have a good breakfast. I want to make sure you have a good breakfast day." They bump us up to first class with it may have cost him 40 cents to make those 5 dozen donuts. But because he did it, and because he had that, that I want to make sure hey, everybody's all right. Which also made, and there are a lot of Southern guys that do this, that move to the Midwest or move to New York or whatever, and always keep their accent because it's great business. Because you think they're dumb as a rock. And that's the thing with Jimmy. I don't know what I'm doing out here. Right. I'm making $12 million.
10 steps ahead.
I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes with my Raytown accent when I'm going to Spokane, Washington here in a couple days, and I hop on the plane with my little box of donuts. I'm going to report back to you. I'll tell you where I end up on Southwest Airlines.
I would encourage everybody to do that. Pick up a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts.
Right.
Yeah. I mean... Or Lamar's, if you so choose.
I do like Lamar's.
It was so funny though. Jimmy just had that way about him. Some of those guys, especially the Southern gentlemen, the very genteel guys. But Midwest Express was the greatest airlines. It's just okay. We just had a recent experience on Delta. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're coming back on, and this was actually kind of a sad occasion. My mother-in-law turned 100 years old. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So we go up to see her, and she was. You get good days and bad days. I mean, every day that you wake up is a good day when you're 100. Mm-hmm. So she knew everybody. She had a great birthday, and we came back. Well, 3 weeks later, she passed away. And so we go back up. This is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Back to Pittsburgh. Well, I mean, hey, it's never easy, right? Mm-hmm. But she is 100 years old, which is great. So we go up there, and we're coming back, and it's me and Renee and our daughter, Maddie. And then Charles, he flew in from Los Angeles and went back. So anyway, we're coming back, and Maddie's got a water bottle that she put in her backpack. And then she put her backpack up on, in the thing. Well, so we're getting off the plane, and I can see there's a little, like, a little bit of commotion, like, happening, because I was a couple of people back as we're exiting the plane.
Okay. And you don't want commotion at the airport.
No.
I mean, I want to go through smooth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, this is when we're exiting the plane. We're exiting the plane. Okay.
Shouldn't be any commotion exiting.
Nope. A guy is kind of in Maddie's face, and he goes, "Whose water bottle is this? Whose water bottle?" And huh?
Is this an employee or staff? Or
no, this is a passenger. And she says, "It's my water bottle. Your water bottle dripped. It got on the case that was had my laptop in." And I'm thinking, why do you have your laptop in the overhead? What are you doing? Your electronics. And Maddie's like, what? What do you want? And and we're having to run to the next gate to catch our flight. And so she's like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? He goes, it dripped over. What's in this? What's in this? She goes, water. And so he's like, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. And so anyway, that didn't end very well, to be honest with you. But take it up.
But we don't need to talk about that.
Take it up with the people. I mean,
that's what you're supposed to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Tell the flight attendant. And nobody came over to intercede. It was just kind of
Poor Maddie. Nobody can be mad at Maddie.
I
If you know
know.
Maddie,
It's
she's
kind
just a
of a
great
weird-
soul. Makes me sad to hear that.
It was just kind of a weird deal. I mean, what do you do in that situation?
I don't know what you do. Here's the last weird deal I had at the airport. I'm going to Cabo with Kelly.
Yeah.
This is not long ago, and we're at MCI. Actually, it's old enough just to be at the old airport. It was like one of the last flights out of the old airport. And as we're going through, security's holding up Kelly. I'm like, what are we doing? Are you okay? And the security guard's like, nah, it's not okay. I'm like, what is it? She's got this huge knife in her bag. I'm like, what?
What?
This knife in her bag. And she did. And it was this.
Just when you think you know a person.
My wife is the sweetest thing, but she might. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You stay on her good side. Yeah. So it's this beautiful blue, incredible knife, like you can't imagine, that was given to her because she works with Veterans Community Project.
Yep.
Well, they gifted her that.
Okay.
It has a lot of meaning.
Sure.
And they're going to now take it and like, you can't take this with you. And I'm like, no, that's not a regular pocket knife.
Right.
There's more to it than that.
That's a very special.
And I'm like, and so they're like, well, if you want to take this back around, maybe you can catch your luggage before it goes to the plane. If you can get it into your luggage, and they're happy to help you because you can't bring it on the plane,
right?
Then you have a shot at it. So all of a sudden, I'm like, well, then hurry up, Kelly, and go. And all of a sudden, the security guard's looking at me again, like, what do you? No. And I'm like, what do you mean no? There's another knife. She had two knives? I didn't even know she owned two knives. Two in her bag. And these people I'm with, I'm like, go on, I'm coming. So that one got thrown away. or no, they auction it off. They have a big thing they auction. And then she was able to get the blue knife. And the last time she flew, I reminded her, take all your stuff out and leave it at your office or something. She goes, oh, thanks for telling me.
Thanks for telling
me.
me.
Are you kidding me?
Let's see. And
my wife is a threat, Randy.
Do I have to leave my sword?
Right.
Oh my God!
What am I going to do with these nunchucks, Randy?
I got it at the Renaissance Festival. I just needed to take
Ninja stars. I didn't. They're monogrammed with my name.
My gosh!
But somebody was telling me, I don't know if I hope this is a thing, but some are like, some will take their stuff if they can't get in the luggage, and like in the men's room, if you haven't knocked down, they'll stash stuff different places in the airport, which sounds like a horrible idea. I don't know if that's even possible. The new idea.
True?
No, that's what some had said. Like,
really?
And then when you fly back, go to whatever spot and get it.
Oh. That's not a bad idea.
Well, the best idea is don't bring weapons to the airport.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. I mean,
Kelly's a bad person, Randy.
Yeah, she is a bad person. But here's the thing.
Love you, honey.
The thing about just flying in general now, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible experience. It takes forever. And I had a conversation. Who was I talking to? I interviewed somebody about this. It might have been Adam Carolla, and he was talking about the same thing about, like, especially with Delta. Mm-hmm. I mean, Delta, you've got 17 different layers before it gets to you. It's like elite, premium plus.
Oh yeah.
Veterans.
Oh.
Premium minus.
Oh yeah.
Star.
Absolutely.
All-star. Class 1, Zone C.
Absolutely.
Zone 2. You finally get to you. It's like, Well,
And here's the other crazy thing. One of the first times I flew with Kelly, we're not able to sit with each other. We're on like our first little flight together. She's back there with the hot-looking rugby guys, and I'm up there like Ben Stiller, all disturbed. They're back there.
I'm sure that was a mistake. I'm sure that wasn't,
Right. She's like, "Oh, I hate to break it up, honey." Oh.
Yeah. I mean, they really like my knife.
Right.
If you want to know.
But it is a pain. It is a pain.
It is a pain. And then they finally get to you, and you're, in the back of the plane. I mean, my thing is,
right next to the toilet door slamming.
why not load the back of the plane first? Wouldn't that make so much sense?
Yeah.
Load the back of the plane. Well, no, we can't do that because you're not a VIP and a club member in a Zone 3.
Well, then board the peons first. That's your point.
Yes. Right. Right.
You got the high V cheap seat section. Go on, guys.
Well,
Who's a high V cheap seat? You're on.
And then they got, you can do your upgrades, right? And Southwest is famous for that, where you get a good rate.
And I've done some of that.
I've done some of that.
And you get in there a little early, but then all of a sudden when I think, okay, I got a little leg up now, all of a sudden I get another additional $50 early bird both ways. I'm like, well, what was the last $30 I spent to upgrade? What was that for?
That's right. That's right. Here's a free drink coupon. If to use on your next flight. Oh no, not this one. You can't do it. And we offer free Wi-Fi. But it's
Thank you for that.
It's just so stupid flying. That's why we camp now. I mean, honestly, because we can take the dogs, and that's a whole other. That's a whole other deal. But you can take your dogs, and I will say, Estes Park, the most pet-friendly city that I've ever seen in the world. In the world. I mean, you can take your dogs on their pet. Okay, tell me this. Restaurants. If you're a restaurant and you have a patio, dogs should be allowed on your patio. And most are. But some aren't. And I don't get it. They'll go, well, service dogs. Well, okay. So, but I don't understand. I mean, if you're outside. It's like you're at home on your deck, but you can't take your. I
mean, where do you? I appreciate what you're saying, Randy, but where do you draw the line? Because I have Kelsey, little Kelsey,
the cat,
not a service cat, just a
a
senior peon, cute little lucky kitten,
right?
That has been a great. She's a better good luck charm. Well, I can't say that. She's like Taylor Swift. We've been on a roll since Kelsey.
That's
little
true.
Kelsey.
Okay, little Kelsey.
And people do get confused when I'm telling them I'm hanging out with Kelsey tonight.
Right. But it's so weird, and I want to call out a place that is in our area. There's a place here called Tipsy Taco. Tipsy Taco used to be our place, okay? Because they've got a great patio. You could bring your dogs. I mean, this is like for the last 4 years.
Okay.
All of a sudden, this year, no dogs. And I said, what? Health code. What? I said, oh, did you guys move? It's never been a problem before. No, it's a.
Is it a new health code?
No,
what do you think,
must
Randy?
Be a new health
must
code.
have just.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get that. So guess what? We don't go to Tipsy Taco. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hate but and our dogs are not. They're very nice dogs. I mean, they sit there, and I mean, it's not like they're constantly biting people. If you have, and I will say this: if you have dogs that constantly bite people, don't take them to a restaurant. Right. But I don't get that. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I the restaurant business in general, and I understand it's a tough deal. But do you do something that will make people not come to your restaurant? I don't get it.
I mean, it's a business decision for them.
There is a great new restaurant that we went to. I'm going to give them a plug. McGregor's.
Right.
McGregor's Butchery and Bistro.
Okay.
135th and Antioch.
Right. Not far from me.
Right. Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Fantastic.
We'll check it out. Might not check it out.
Not
check it out.
But it's the only place And now I love Jess and Gems.
Dave, you wouldn't believe the dream I had last night. It was about me being a superhero, flying around, saving all the people that wanted to eat chicken, and I'd hand them a steak. Look, baby brother, everybody loves RC's chicken. It was a great dream. Mike, you're not a superhero. Uh-huh, Mom said I was. Put me down, put me down. I said put me down. Now let's find some people who need a ribeye. I will save you, citizen. Better give up, Mike. Everybody knows that RC's chicken is the way to go.
I mean, Jess and Gems is.
I mean, you got the tattoo.
Speaking of which, hang on to that thought.
You got the Playboy steak right there tattooed, don't you?
That's right. Well, it's the only place that I've ever seen that offers a steak flight. They have 3 different cuts of steak.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of it. It's great.
I love the idea.
It's great. It's great.
That's like,
yes. Yeah.
Wow.
It's great.
Where has that been?
135th and Antioch. So speaking of tattoos,
Well,
you have something to do announce?
well, I probably already lost my man card when I brought up my little kitten Kelsey.
Well, you did.
But I told Kelly I wasn't going to reveal it, so there's no reveal.
No,
But I was inspired.
that's bullshit.
I was inspired
That's
by Travis
bullshit.
Kelsey. No, I'll just tell you who it is. I did it.
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to hear what it is. I want to see it.
It's not appropriate, Randy. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it out there. Shake it off. I got it. Taylor Swift, tat, just like Kelsey's.
Where?
Right? No, I don't.
Where?
I couldn't do it.
Where?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry to let you down.
Oh my gosh.
I am one of those that I have zero tats. Not that I judge him, I've been tats, but
No,
yeah,
no.
I teed up that I might have had a tat. There we go. There we go.
I have 0 tats.
But I tell you who has a few tats.
Who?
And I wish he'd stop. My son, Bailey. I have 3 boys. All of them have a few tats, but we've gone for the sleeve.
Bailey, but you know what?
Go for the no-load mutual fund. You put it in an index fund with a low management fee.
Bailey has grown into his tats to the extent that he is now
Something's going on.
an incredible hip hop artist. No, you sent me a song. But
He did. He is 2022. There's a Missouri All Music Award, and he won Male Vocalist of the Year for that 2022. And the thing is, we're at a festival recently. I didn't know this other person was on the set list.
Right.
The winner of the blues competition 2017, Nashville, Tennessee, Brody Buster.
Brody Buster.
They're playing on the same stage, and that to me was amazing. But
Wow,
yeah,
that's
Bailey's
pretty
been on a
cool.
roll. He's played at
He's
T-Mobile
been everywhere.
recently.
He was at Harrah's.
Harrah's, the Voodoo Lounge,
Yeah.
headlining for that. I don't know.
And
I mean, how about you? I mean, you got Charleston's done all the stuff, and now Bailey's sprouting through there.
Well, I mean, you're always going to be proud of your kids, but I mean, and a lot of times, I mean, you want to love all the material that that your kids do.
My parents tried with me.
Me too.
Didn't work, but
I had no idea. They have no idea. My dad still thinks I work for the VA. But hey, you working for that VA? No, Dad. Again, I mean, I've never worked for the VA.
That's awesome.
No idea. It's a totally different. But yeah, and you sent me the song that we're gonna play for you here. About country music, which is so good, and you said he wrote it in like 5 minutes.
Well, the thing is, he's really his thing. You go to one of his shows, you never know what you're really going to get.
Yeah,
but
I
mostly
love
it's
that, though.
hip hop. It's
Yeah.
kind of a hip hop,
Right,
a little bit of
right.
rap, a little rock. Sometimes he's playing electric guitar, doing a little bit
And
of
who's
that.
the guy? Who's the other guy that's like it is? It's
this little traveling group, 93 and Alive, ATM, Jade Ha, all these different guys that are kind of doing some of this together.
Right.
And yeah, absolutely. So, but the thing is, one of his friends at some point just said, Bailey went to Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Okay.
And he likes all music. He really does.
Yeah.
But I feel like he got burned out a little bit when he was there because he's like, as you may know, Randy, in Pittsburgh.
He's the whitest guy I've ever
in
met
Pittsburgh,
that does hip hop.
They play two types of music, Pittsburgh can.
Country and country.
Western.
Yeah, right.
So, and he still will listen to country, but not very much. But somebody's like, I bet you couldn't do a country song. And on the spot, he kind of pulled a Randy Miller with this number. Yeah. And he wrote this thing on the spot, and it's just called Country Dude.
It's really good. It's really good.
So he goes by his moniker's Blacklight, and the A is an upside down V. Blacklight.
So now that's his stage name is Blacklight.
Mm-hmm. And so part of that, and maybe we have him on the show down the road or something. Yeah. But it's kind of he's had some great things in his past. He's had some rough patches in his life too, and then he's kind of revived.
Who hasn't?
But I think it's kind of that sharing some of the stuff when you've gone through rough patches and what you can do with it and helping lift others up.
Yeah, I love that.
So he's got some other great, really positive songs, but a little bit of everything. It's kind of like Tech Nine. In fact, he's done some things with some of the strange music people too.
Oh,
recently.
has he?
So there's things. But anyway,
get in with those guys.
Exactly, Country Dude.
Country Dude.
Bailey Parker Seward, Blacklight.
So good.
I was drinking Jack Daniels in my pickup truck, swerving across the road. I don't give a dang. Nothing stopping me. Try to get to you. I'm a one hell of. My girl says my music sucks. She likes Subarus, not pickup trucks. She shoots Polaroids. I like shooting ducks. Fake country accent. I don't give a darn. At my cousin's house, we were grilling squirrels. Blasting Jason Aldean, trying to pick up girls. At the family reunion, had a barbecue. Sliding over to my aunt, cause she was looking cute. Where are you from? Where you wanna go? We could travel down the road to the Oklahoma Joe.
I love that, Michael, and it always reminds me of when I used to make fun of George Strait. Because George Strait's songs are basically dog and a ball and a ball and a ball and a ball and a ball. I jump on K, but he does such a great job on that, and it seems like, I can't believe you wrote that in 5 minutes. That's so cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. And
how old is he?
He is 28 now. And the interesting. So I sent it to my sister, Susan Roberts down in Georgia area, and she's like, "Oh, I love that song. That was so great." And when I was there live at this Lawrence Festival where he debuted it, people are cracking up all around and this and that. I was like, I loved it all, and I said, except for that part where he's talking about sliding over to his aunt. You could not have loved that. But we're kind of a Raytona Beach, Raytown family, so
that's right.
Our family trees don't fork, Randy. So
exactly,
he had some inspiration there. But what a song!
What is up with? I got to tell you, Raytona Beach and just Kansas City in general right now. Are we on fire?
We're on fuego.
Oh
fire.
My gosh!
Can you believe it?
You got the soccer, you got the
current. The only women's soccer stadium in the country.
Yes.
You got, again, if you'd have told us years ago that we were going to be every year with Mahomes, we were going to be in our championship, AFC championship every year.
Right. It's
we'd
crazy.
be in 3 Super Bowls. One of the championships we're not going to lose because somebody's offsides is it. Right. And then you're going to tell me once you have finally the MVP Mahomes is. For once, they're on our team.
Yeah.
Can you believe they're on our team? So to me, everything is gravy from here. And again, whether you're a Swiftie or not, usually they're courtside in L.A. or New York, Randy.
Right.
She's in our suite. She's the most popular person in the world, whether you like it or not.
Now, I did not see, or maybe I just missed it. Was she in Minneapolis?
She was not, that I know of.
Okay. I
Unless
haven't
she's
seen
in
anything.
that Topsy's popcorn bin that they apparently pushed her off. She could have been. But
seeing that. Yeah. But she has just embraced the team so much, embraced Travis Kelce. And it was funny because the first game when she was up with Mama Kelce, didn't look like Mama Kelce was a big Taylor fan. It was kind of like,
But it's got to be tough no matter who you are.
I know.
With Kelsey's mom.
Right.
And then you get this additional paparazzi and vibe.
Right.
On top of everything Kelsey's mom in a short period of time has taken on.
Right. I thought I was the guy in the suite.
How many new heights can we have?
It's a great podcast. It's a great podcast.
They should, yeah.
It's a #1 sports podcast. I think it's just the #1 podcast.
Yeah.
We're still.
I'm sorry to share. That's what I was going to say. I'm sorry to share. We got jumped.
Still #2, but feeling good. But that is it's a great, and so my wife, who was just recently into football, into the Chiefs for the past few years since Mahomes, we can watch it, the podcast, and
New Heights.
Okay, and she'll roll with it for a while, and then it gets too football-y.
Okay,
for her. But
they're trying though with Swifties. They're trying to tame some of it.
They are
funny.
They are. It's so
trying
funny.
to explain what a field goal is. I mean, the things you just
that is so great. I know.
How do you describe it? You've been doing it your whole life. So listen to them.
It is kind of funny.
What's a down?
I love Jason.
Yeah.
Oh man, he is great.
Have you seen? I don't know if it's Amazon or Netflix, but Jason's story. Is it just called Kelsey?
Yes.
I kind of left not heartbroken, but I mean, I kind of felt. No, I felt.
What do you mean?
I felt a little saddened a touch on Jason Kelsey's.
What?
Why? Just the fact that it felt like the ache of his body. He can't get down on the floor. I mean, you got to stay beefed up to be on the line, and he kind of looks forward to not having that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like now is the time, and I just felt like I'm going to do another season. But he also made reference to some of those people he knows that mentally they've been banged up. And,
I know.
But I'm going to do it. It's kind of like those that have been in your world deployed multiple times, and I'm gonna go back.
I know exactly.
So a little bit of that. I was like, man, I felt bad.
Got to be a trooper.
He's a trooper.
But,
he is a trooper,
and you know what's going to happen to your body. You know.
Yeah.
So speaking of documentaries, we just watched a great documentary about Tanya Tucker.
I love Tanya.
Now,
and I missed all your bits back in the day on radio with Tanya.
Yeah. But let me tell you about it. So Brandy Carlisle, right? You know who that is? Mm-hmm. Do you?
I know Brandy.
Do you really?
Hold on a minute. I just about had her song, one of the main ones.
No.
Go.
Did you?
Yeah. No, my wedding singer days.
I'm not talking about Belinda Carlisle of the Go-Go's.
Well, that's who I was.
Yeah, I know you were. But I'm actually.
Here's the thing for our listeners: Randy can read me like a book. He busts me every time. He's like, "Stop nodding your head. You do not know who
you
this
do not know who it is." But I've made that same mistake. So Brandy Carlisle is an incredible artist who's an Americana singer, and her hero is Tanya Tucker. So Tanya Tucker has not recorded a new album in 15 years because she lost both of her parents. She was hooked on cocaine. There were a lot of reasons, okay?
Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, didn't one come out or not?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Okay, I remember that. I follow her.
And that's what this documentary, that's what it talks about.
It's kind of like she's on a horse with some chaps blinging.
Exactly. So Brandy Carlisle made that happen. She went to Tanya Tucker and said, "You are my hero. I'm going to pull you into this, and you are going to record a new album." Okay? And she did it. Tanya Tucker, I mean, still a little bit of a, got a little.
When you've lived and loved.
I'm just saying.
Tanya.
So Renee and I are trying to guess Tanya's age.
And by the way, we've seen her together.
Yes.
At Knuckleheads.
Yeah.
I've seen her a few times.
That's when she was promoting her album. That's when she was touring her album. Yeah. And it's a great album, by the way. But so we're trying to guess her age, and I said, she's probably like 80. And Renee said,
I'd say 82. Stretching it.
Renee goes 82.
She was like, wasn't she? You would know this, like 13 when she did Delta Dawn.
Yeah, exactly 13.
Mm-hmm.
She's 65 years old.
Oh, I feel horrible. No disrespect. That is no disrespect. Is that right?
She's
Oh,
60.
I don't mean any disrespect.
This
She is
year,
awesome.
Tanya Tucker is 65.
But the road life can
hard
take it out on you.
Years
Well,
old.
Maybe she's the female version of Keith Richards.
Well, Keith Richards 113.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, but it's a great. If you get a chance to watch that, it is a great documentary. And Brandy Carlisle is such a, oh my gosh, you'll just fall in love with her. She's just fantastic.
As much as I have with Belinda?
You even more. More.
Right, thank you.
Even more. I mean, Susanna Hoffs, you'll love them all. But it's a really, really good thing. And she's such a fan of Tanya. She loves her. And until Tanya starts like not showing up for rehearsal and not showing up for shows and not showing up for,
A little George Jones kind of kicks in.
Oh, speaking of which, I am so excited. I'm interviewing George Jones's wife, Nancy, who's written a book in a couple of weeks. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
So this is going to be incredible because some of our listeners may not know you did the same thing to Dr. Phil. You went to his wife.
Yeah, his ex-wife.
Ex-wife. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say, his ex-wife. Now you're doing the same with George Jones. That's going to be something.
Yeah.
Have you seen that on, is it Amazon Prime? There's a streaming on George Jones.
No.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a rough go. I had no idea who George Jones was after I've watched this.
I read
the songs.
his memoir.
He stopped loving her today.
Yeah.
All these songs. I'm like, what a beautiful heart guy.
Right.
And then you watch this show.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
He's got the,
okay. I got one for you, George Jones.
He's got the George Jones Mafia.
Yeah, it's who is it? George Jones and is it Tammy Wynette?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
two. That's what this thing's about.
Right.
Yeah.
George and Tammy. Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot
you haven't
there.
interviewed yet? You
Huh?
haven't interviewed her yet?
No.
You may want to just watch a little bit of
Yeah.
that, kind of get you
Ooh, that's a good idea.
to make reference to how much of that was real. And I'm guessing maybe even more than, I don't know.
I mean, he missed so many shows and still did okay. I mean, most people, you miss a show, they're like, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey misses a show. Goodbye.
I feel like you were kind of like that a little bit. You were.
I didn't miss a lot of shows.
How about, how can I just forgotten the name of Dennis?
Rooney.
Dennis Rooney.
Yeah.
Your guy. I think I remember, was it Dennis or some of the other guys that ran around with the Dennis crowd? And I just,
Right.
maybe could have been his wife or somebody I was talking to at actually his funeral that you spoke at.
Okay,
You
right.
did eulogy there. And I just remember him talking about those times where Dennis is trying to come up with material because Randy's still on the way to the studio, and it seemed like
Might have been a little tardy.
maybe he's
Might have been a little tardy.
okay. And
Yeah.
would there be something in for Dennis like
Like $100?
yeah, something like okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Try to keep it
I
good.
mean, the show starts early. The show started at 6, in the morning.
Sometimes Randy did.
In the morning,
So take me back though, and I don't want to get off track too much. But would you have some pre-recorded stuff, or he's just
No,
rolling with notes you have? Wait, that's another show. Maybe.
You're thinking of Pittsburgh. So
okay.
a guy named Chris did the overnight show, and I did show up a couple times late, and they would fine me $50 every time.
I have got it mixed up.
Yeah, every time I showed up late, they would fine me $50. So I told Chris, I said, I'm going to record an open for the show and maybe the first few breaks. If you could play that for me until I get there, I'll pay you $25. So I wouldn't, I'd save myself $25. And he did it for a while, but then he ratted me out. Yeah, not good.
He was done with that load.
Yeah.
huh? $25 wasn't worth it anymore.
I guess
at some
not.
point. But still, Dennis, maybe you didn't do the pay thing, but was there an element to that where you'd be like, can you just hook me a little bit? I mean, I'm just an hour and a half away. Just,
Well, no, I'm
getting in the shower.
It might have been 15 minutes, but I said, can you make your newscast maybe you make it 15 minutes or 10 minutes or,
Well, that
But he
was
was
kind
good.
of you. Give him a little more spotlight.
Right, exactly.
For gracious.
Exactly.
An opportunity.
I said, I want to put the light on you, Dennis.
That's great.
And
Well, I can't
he
laugh
appreciated
because
that.
I can promise you I'd be in the same boat and probably not getting to the studio as early as you did. Still, that's just, how do you live like that?
You know what's so weird now is that because I would take a nap every day. You get up at 4:30, you get at the studio, and you do a 4-hour show. Well, I'd come home and at like 1 or 2 o'clock, I'd take an
little power nap.
hour-long nap. And so now, what time do you get up? What time do you get up?
Probably 6:45 ish,
Okay,
somewhere around there.
Okay,
Now on my flight to Spokane, I board at board at 6:30. So that sets you back to get there parked. It's kind of a radio time frame.
Yeah.
So I don't like it.
No. I wake up. Renee wakes up because we have horses to feed. She wakes up at 5:45. I'm not in that deal.
So that kind of romantic song about Keith Urban is just kind of rain. You're just laying in bed all morning, lay in bed in the afternoon, just laying around.
Yeah. No, I mean, she wakes up 5:45. I'll go about 6:20. 6:20 is good for me. And that's Andy, what time do you? Oh well.
Andy's going to bed at that time.
Andy, that's right.
Andy is done with your edits, Randy, at that time.
Andy wakes up when the sun is warm.
Right.
When the sun is warm, that's when I wake up.
But do you have an alarm get you up at 6:20, Randy?
No.
That's your internal. I could never.
Yep.
If I did that, I'm hoping I'm falling back asleep. That's just a little.
Right. It's a tough. But I mean, what time do you go to bed?
Later. Yeah. It depends on what we're working on, doesn't it, Andy?
Right.
It might be 1 a.m.
Sure. Oh wow.
Yeah. So probably.
I'm
because you emailed me the other day, Andy
not,
did, and it was
not 1 a.m.
probably 11:30. Now, always respectful. Andy's like still up. It's just
Yeah.
a shuttle did that.
That's nice.
And what did you say most of the time I'm calling?
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
well, there's a little intimidation when I get a note from Andy.
I'm not calling.
Kelly, hold on a minute. I just got something for Andy.
I'm not. I mean, we hit it about 11. About 11. Because we're getting up so early.
Yeah.
You have to get up early and feed the horses, and Renee does a lot of work on her own. She will announce this is how our morning goes. So she wakes up at 5:45. She'll go out. I'll wake up at like 6:20. The sun's not up yet, so we're not going out to the barn yet to feed the horses. So then she'll go, I'm heading out to feed the horses, and I'm on my way. And I really am on my way. So I'll go out then maybe 15 minutes later after a cup of coffee and go out and help with the barn work. And it's not hard. I mean, it's just
It's routine now. It's your routine.
picking up poop is what that's what my responsibility is basically I pick up the poop.
But there's your book. I mean, how you've increased your longevity. Seriously, by balance, moving. You're moving early, picking up poop, living another 20 years longer.
Picking up poop, I'm picking up poop. The great Randy Travis.
Yeah.
All right. So what else do we have? What else I do want to maybe tease something that we have coming up.
Okay.
And it was something you brought up. I've got this. So here's what we're going to do in a future episode. The guy named Mike,
I'm over it.
who's got this.
And he's got it. He's got What he's got is he's living in the past, glory days. I'm so tired of his D1 quarterback stuff. I really want to do a fact check too. I want to go back to
that's what I mean.
What have you actually done? I want to hear from people that played with you. Was he the star quarterback that he portrays?
Right. So we're going to check all of his stats.
I want footage.
We're going to check all of his
footage.
Yes.
Back then.
We're going to check all of Mike's stats, and we're going to call him, and we're going to go, do you really have this?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. I mean, do you have it or do you not have it? Mike's got this. Well, you know what? Maybe he doesn't have this. We're going to find out. That's our investigative piece that's going to go on. And then
Used to be Stan Kramer, not anymore.
Well, right. Angie Ricono from Channel 5. And by the way, are all,
Abby Eden is back. Yes.
Abby Eden is back.
Yes.
But from all the other TV stations, are they all brand new? I don't recognize anybody. Mark Alford goes to Congress.
Right? Thanks to
Well,
you might have promoted him a little
Thank you.
much.
But then everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like, who is that guy? There's a guy named Greg. There's a guy named now you got me. So
Mike's got this.
no, there's a guy named Greg who does the weather on Channel 5 in the morning. All right.
Okay, I'm not watching it because I know you're blocked from Fox 4.
No,
that
I'm
using.
back.
You're back.
I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back. But this guy Greg, he's just like super animated. Where he's a chance of a rain shower. We have a cloud coming in. When's the summer? All kinds of things that are. And Renee loves the guy. And I go, he's a nut. The guy's a nut. I mean, he's bouncing around. He's what? We got all kinds. We got weather. We got traffic.
Andy! Security! Security!
The chance of a raindrop. We don't know what's going on. Wow! I apologize, Andy, but it's just too much. It's just too much, Greg. Oh my gosh. How about limit yourself to 25 cups of coffee in the morning and less cocaine? Oh my gosh.
That's not sweetener in that coffee.
Something.
Woo!
All right, we got a 20% chance of rain. Got it. We'll make preparations. And that's when the weather is good.
Right. I mean, we got Doppler radar. It's already on our phones, Greg. We get the app.
Listen,
we got the app.
If there's
easy.
any severe weather, he takes his pants off.
Hurricane Paul.
That's what he calls it. Anywho.
You had a little pants thing, I thought, on TV5 when you worked there, did you not? Didn't you have a little series on KCTV5, something like What's in something?
What's in Randy's pants? We did it. It's fine if you're low key.
Oh, on that note.
Yes. Thank you. Upcoming investigative series. And now we may investigate Greg on Channel 5 because there is something going on there that is not good.
Coming at you. Phones are ringing off the hook.
RandyMillerRadio.com.
RandyMillerRadio.com.
Oh my gosh.
I lost it.
That is the one. That is one right there. Oh my